Is your Reolink camera giving you the low battery warning? The camera used to work fine, and it's at the same location it always was, but now it's not charging properly. Well, in today's video, we'll discuss some possible problem points with the Reolink, some things that you could do to fix it, or some possible upgrades. So let's head into the table and get your Reolink charging again. So I want to give a quick disclaimer before we get started. Some of the things that I'm going to recommend are not recommended by the manufacturer. In fact, some of the things may void your warranty. So if your camera still has warranty, please go through Reolink, try and get it fixed that way. But if you do not have warranty anymore, or you just don't care and you want your camera fixed, you can try some of these tips and techniques. Now, another thing is, a lot of this information is pretty universal throughout all of the Reolink cameras. So no matter if you have the Reolink Go or the Go PT, the Go PT Plus, or even the Keen Ranger, they all have common setups with their solar panel and their charging of these cameras. Now, another disclaimer, I can't guarantee this is going to fix your camera. They're electronics. It could be 100 different issues that possibly went wrong, but these are some of the most common things that I've found and what I did to fix them. So let's dive right into it. One of the most common problems that I see when you have charging issues with your Reolink is the connection between the solar panel and the camera. It is a micro USB connection, and over time, or if an animal is hanging on your camera or pulls, or if there's tension on the cable that's going to your solar panel, this definitely could cause issues over time. In fact, the connection gets loose between the solar panel and the camera. So the first thing that I recommend checking if your camera isn't charging is that connection. In fact, there are several ways to know if your camera is charging. One would be opening up the app and seeing if there's a charging icon at your battery indicator. That's a quick and easy way to know whether your solar panel is charging or not, but the cameras also have an indicator light. Now, this light is very hard to see, especially in the daytime or out in the sunlight when you want to be checking the solar panel. So I recommend taking your camera and your solar panel into a darker room. Makes seeing that indicator light on the camera much easier than simply shine a flashlight on your solar panel to see if you get a charging light on your camera or not. At that point, you can also wiggle the connection between your solar panel and your camera. More times than not, I have found that this is the problem. It's a loose connection, and depending on how you hold that micro USB connection to your camera, sometimes it'll charge, but then if you let go of it, it'll quit charging. Depends how you put pressure on it or hold it up and down on that connection, you can get the camera to charge. Again, this is a fairly common issue with the Reolinks. And when this issue occurs, I've found that many times it's actually the end from the solar panel, which is good news. If the connection on the camera is bent or has slop in it, that is very hard to fix. In fact, I haven't found a great way to fix that. Another thing that you can do to verify which connection is the problem is just simply get another micro USB cable. Doesn't have to be attached to any solar panel, but simply get another USB connection and plug that into the camera. It doesn't have to be attached to a solar panel. Maybe steal one from your kid's smartphone, but simply plug another micro USB cable into the camera just to see how that connection feels. It's usually much tighter, and it'll verify that it's actually the micro USB from the solar panel and not the camera's connection. At this point, you can either buy just another Reolink solar panel that are relatively inexpensive, or you can do what I have done in the past, and that's simply to cut the end off of the bad solar panel and attach a new one. Now, this may seem a little intimidating at first, but if you simply cut the wires from your solar panel, you'll find that there's usually only 2 wires inside there. Then I just simply get a donor USB cable that has the micro USB at the one end and cut that and splice the two together. Now, I advise soldering these two connections and then also waterproofing it. So whether you want to use some sort of shrink tubing, or I personally use poor man's shrink tubing, which is a hot glue gun. By putting a new end on your existing solar panel, this could be one of the easiest and cheapest fixed and have you up and going in no time. Now, maybe you do want to upgrade your solar panel. Reolink's newest cameras now have a much larger solar panel with a different connection. Now this new solar panel is almost twice the size of the original solar panel that come with the older Reolink cameras. This newer solar panel also has a USB Type-C connection. Now this leads me to believe that that micro USB connection was a problem in the past, and they're trying to fix that by upgrading it to the USB Type-C. Now you can buy this new 6-watt larger solar panel, and it will work with your older cameras because these panels come with an adapter. Now obviously this will not eliminate the possibility of problems between your brand new solar panel and your older camera because you're still using that micro USB adapter, but you will get the advantages of a larger panel and a 6-watt charge. One other possible upgrade is another solar panel that has a USB output. Now many solar panels that are made for trail cameras will not have that 5-volt USB output, but this panel from Camo Jojo does have a USB out. I have used this panel and it will power the Reolink cameras. Now again, this is not recommended by the manufacturer. Reolink says you must use a Reolink panel in order to stay within your warranty. But if you're outside of your warranty, or if you want to try to upgrade your charging to your camera, it's possible to use this Camo Jojo because it has a USB output. You can simply take any USB cable that has the micro USB on one end and the USB on the other. It'll plug directly into this solar panel and it'll charge your Reolink cameras. The last thing I'll discuss is the charging in cold weather. Many people complain if it's extremely cold for long periods of time that their cameras do not charge properly. Well, that comes down just to a battery issue, and there's really no great way around that short of using some sort of supplemental heat or an insulating blanket around your camera. No matter which camera or no matter which solar panel you have, in extremely cold temperatures, it can limit the effectiveness of the lithium-ion batteries inside the camera. So again, depending on your location and how cold for how long it stays, this could be a problem. One of the issues that I see is not only are the batteries inside the camera affected, but you have no backup batteries with any of the Reolink solar panels. They simply supply the power to charge the existing batteries inside the camera. That's where I see this Camo Jojo as an upgrade, because not only do you have batteries inside of this panel, you have batteries inside the camera. So essentially you have twice the power. Although the cold weather can still affect these batteries the same as those, but at least you have some sort of backup because there are internal batteries both inside this panel and in the camera. Whereas any panel that comes from Reolink has no batteries in it. They simply sends charge from the panel to the batteries inside. So that's a possible fix, although not the perfect solution. So hopefully you have found some of this information useful. I'll be placing links down in the description to many of these products that I talked about here today. But now I'd love to hear from you. Have you ever had any charging issues with your Reolink? And if so, what did you do to help fix it? Please leave me a comment down in the comment section. I love hearing from you and I can often learn from your comments, so please keep them coming. I also want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.